Hi, V from Movies Hunter here. Today I'm going to be explaining a crime drama thriller film from 2018 called Backgrounds. Welcome to the twisted world of a struggling family in 1993 Pennsylvania, where Bonnie's violent past has come back to haunt them. Bonnie's murder of her abusive husband has landed her behind bars, leaving her eldest son, Harley, to pick up the pieces and raise his three younger sisters on his own: 16-year-old Amber, 12-year-old Missy, and 6-year-old Jody. Harley dreams of furthering his education and living a better life, but the weight of his responsibilities holds him back. He works grueling dead-end jobs just to put food on the table and pay the bills. With the night shift ahead of him, he turns to his older sister Amber for help, only to be met with harsh rejection. "You don't deserve happiness," Amber sneers as she is getting ready for a date with a mystery man. But Harley is a fighter. He takes care of his sisters Misty and Jody and goes to work at the local supermarket where he meets Kaylee, a married woman with a life as dark as his own who just might be the ally he needs to survive this bleak existence. That night, Harley stumbles back to the house, exhausted from a long day's work. But as he rests his weary head, he is suddenly jolted awake by the sounds of moans coming from the living room. Stalking over to investigate, he finds his sister Amber in a very unspeakable position with a stranger on the couch. Enraged, he storms outside and fires off a few shots into the air to scare the interloper away. But as Misty and Jody rouse from their slumber, they are met with the sight of their brother and sister locked in a heated argument. The stranger quickly leaves, leaving Harley to make his final stand by setting the couch ablaze. The next day, Harley and Jody visit their mom behind bars. 2 years have passed since she took the life of her husband, but for Harley, this is the first time she has seen her in the flesh. He left Misty at home, not wanting her and Jody to get into another fight on the way. As for Amber, she couldn't care less. Harley believes his mother is content to rot away in prison, choosing the cold embrace of her cell over the warmth of her own family. But as they sit face to face with Bonnie, the weight of reality crashes down on Harley and he collapses in a panic attack. With a court's order, Harley begins to see a therapist who quickly notes his belief that his mother cares more for the girls than for him. Harley believes it's because the girls can bear children, while boys can simply walk away. But if he ever fathers a child, he vows to marry the mother, not out of love, but out of a sense of duty. As a child, Harley and his sisters endured the horrors of a monstrous father who beat and abused them. The mere mention of their father's name sends Harley into a rage and he storms out of therapy before the therapist can delve any deeper. The tension at dinner is palpable as Harley's sisters reveal that Kaylee had stopped by, leaving a mysterious present behind. Harley's world is turned upside down when his sister Amber dangles a tempting offer in front of him, a chance to escape the hellish memories of his childhood by going on a date with one of her friends. But when he realizes the girl is only 16, he turns down the offer without hesitation. In the midst of his late-night supermarket shift, Harley runs into Kaylee again and feels a glimmer of hope. The two bond over their shared love of art, and Harley starts to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But just when he thinks he's made a connection, Uncle Mike shows up, who is a living reminder of the family that haunts them. Mike's the only one who still cares for Harley and his sisters, but the rest of their father's kin have severed ties, unable to stomach the shame of their association with the family. In the dead of night, Harley stumbles to Kaylee's door, suffocating from a panic attack. He plunges into the shadows of the forest, and Kaylee chases after him. Despite her attempts to soothe him, he tears off his clothes and romances her in the wilderness. The next morning, Harley wakes up to find Kaylee missing. He tracks her down at work where she apologizes for fleeing and warns him that what happened in the woods should never be repeated. But Kaylee's desire to help Harley goes beyond mere words, and she invites him to her empty home while her husband is away. Oh yeah, she's married. After his shift, Harley makes his way to Kaylee's, where she submits to him completely, willing to give everything to ease his emotional and physical pain. When Harley returns home, he discovers that his sister Misty has stumbled upon their mother's hidden stash of cash, $1,000 to be exact. But when he approaches her, kindly asking for the money, Amber steps in, slapping Misty and snatching the loot for herself. Her demands a driver's license for her. But Harley, wise to the ways of the world, knows better. Taxes, taxes. Taxes for the house comes first. Amber's rage boils over and she unleashes a barrage of curses upon Harley. Feeling defeated, Harley takes refuge in the arms of his lover Kaylee. The two continue their affair, seeking solace in each other's embrace and finding peace in their secret clinches, no matter where they be. As Harley sits in the therapist's office, the weight of years of abuse and trauma come crashing down. The therapist cautiously proceeds, sensing there's more to the story. "Was Misty ever sexually abused by your father?" said the therapist. Harley nods, confirming the therapist's fear. But what about Amber? The therapist asks, trying to understand the twisted dynamic of this broken family. Harley's eyes darken and he shifts uncomfortably in the seat. Amber and I never had a healthier relationship. Our father never laid a hand on her. He sneers, a twisted sense of gratitude for her being spared the abuse that he and Missy endured. Harley storms out of the therapist's office, rage and pain boiling over. He stumbles home only to find Amber packing her bags ready to leave with her new boyfriend. He tries to stop her to make her stay, but Amber is done with this toxic family and the abuse that has defined their lives. Harley's world is about to be turned upside down as he confronts Jody about Amber's sudden departure. With a deadly serious tone, Jody drops a bombshell. Amber and Misty were heard arguing about something concerning Harley. It's only getting worse from here. Jody then confesses to finding a blood-soaked cloth belonging to Misty, the same cloth she was wearing the day their father was murdered. The realization dawns on Harley. Misty was with her father and mother on that fateful day, and if rumors of their father's abuse are true, then it's possible she pulled the trigger to protect herself. And to avoid her being caught, their dear mother Bonnie must have taken the fall and served time in her place. Next day, Harley pays his dear old mother a visit. He spills all the grisly details of the past few days. He demands to know why she's been taking the rap for Missy all these years. But of course, she's not actually in love with her prison cell, is she? Well, hold on to your hats, folks, because the truth is about to blow your minds. Pah! Turns out it wasn't Misty pulling the trigger on dear old dad. No. Misty had her sights set on dear old mom, all because she was green with envy. See, Misty was in love with her dad. Not in the way most people think of love, mind you, but in a twisted, sickening way that only a murderer could understand. She thought that her father's abuse was just a twisted expression of his love for her. That's terrifying. Harley is rocked to his core as he realizes the extent of the deception that has been going on right under his nose. Fueled by anger and confusion, he storms over to Kaylee's house, ready to confront her, but she shuts him down, reminding him that he can't just barge into her life whenever he pleases, especially not with her husband around. She's not going to risk ruining her perfect marriage for the sake of a 19-year-old who can't keep his emotions in check. One evening, Harley crosses paths with Amber at a supermarket. She drops the bomb that she's moving in with her new boyfriend, leaving Harley reeling. But as he takes a closer look, he notices a dark bruise on her eye, and he can't ignore the suspicion that something isn't right. He poses the question, does her new man hit her? And in a cruel twist of fate, he even goes so far as to ask if she'd stay with him if he were to hit her too. Amber is taken aback, but then a glimmer of hope sparks in her eyes. She takes Harley's question as an invitation, breaking off the abusive relationship with her boyfriend and taking up with Harley instead. The morning after, Harley wakes up to a nightmare. There's Amber, lying in his bed like a devil in disguise. He is horrified, but she's not. She reaches out to touch him, to make it all feel real, but he pushes her away. Harley stumbles out of the room, hunted by what happened the night before, and then Amber's voice pierces through his thoughts, a knife to his heart. Kaylee doesn't love you, she sneers, not like I do. Harley's mind reels with disgust as the memory of the traumatic event resurfaces. He stumbles into the therapist's office, desperate for answers. With a trembling voice, Harley divulges the dark secret he's carried with him for years. He recalls the night when Amber would creep into his bed seeking comfort as she trembled with fear of their abusive father. But Harley did not stop her. He too was paralyzed by fear. The therapist listens with empathy, calmly explaining that they were simply survivors. When Harley trudges back to their family abode, Misty sneers, I heard every word of your little spat with Amber. Newsflash, honey, we're all cut from the same twisted cloth. Misty coldly adds, our dear old dad never loved me, not like he adored mom. I thought if I gave him what I wanted, he'd finally stop hitting me. Silly me. Harley then heads out to the woods to meet with Kaylee, but the reunion takes a dark turn. Harley stumbles upon Kaylee's lifeless body, a bullet hole in her chest. The fingers point to none other than his dear sister Amber, who is consumed with jealousy and saw Kaylee as a threat to her twisted relationship with Harley. She wanted them all to herself, just like old times. In a desperate attempt to protect the only person he has ever truly cared for, Harley walks into the police station and confesses to Kaylee's murder. The interrogator scoffs at his admission, but Harley remains resolute. The interrogator doesn't believe him, but Harley says, I did it, send me to prison. Harley was initially unwilling to bear the weight of his sisters on his shoulders. He pointed fingers at his folks for their story's sake, but as the sinister truth about the family unraveled, Harley realized the gravity of the situation and accepted his responsibility as a protector. He was willing to lay down his life if it meant keeping his sister safe. Uncle Mike, now their legal guardian, took in Judy, Missy, and Amber under his wing. And so this was the story of Backroads. See you in the next hunt.